o'clock, are we? 1 o'clock on July 28th, 2026, and the meeting of the Port of Cookville Commissioners is in session. I am Mary Ann Burrow, Commissioner for District 1.
And John Mashasik, District 2 is present, barely.
Shane Clyburn, District 3 present.
Right. All right, and I do have myself one small change to the agenda.
Okay.
The next meeting is actually in August 11th, not July 20th.
Oh, yeah, August 11th.
28th. No. Yeah. Next regular meeting.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Any other changes to the agenda?
No.
This is the time for the public to address the commissioners on agenda items or other concerns. The board will consider all comments, but typically will not take immediate action. Please state your name, city of residence, and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Do we have anyone who'd like to speak? Doesn't look like it, so we'll move on to the commissioner action, which is the approval of vouchers.
Right. I will make a motion to approve the vouchers dated 7/28/26 for voucher number 26-0731 through 26-0735. Totaling $133,622.33, as well as electronic vouchers EFT 0709 through EFT 0711, totaling $16,149.04 for a grand total of $149,771.37.
I second that motion, and I do have a comment, which is on the amount we are paying Endurus this year. Marissa sent us a email explaining that the amount for our insurance is less by
21,000.
because of fewer projects being worked on at this time. Apparently, everything we were doing for IDD was one of the reasons that the premium was raised last year.
Okay,
Interesting.
that's
So
good to
that's-
see it go
So
down.
when there's more work, there's more insurance.
Yeah, when there's more liability.
Or potential liability.
Yeah.
Endurus is a very reputable company, and when there was less work, there's less premium. That was. Is there any other comment or question about the voucher?
For the moment.
All right, but being that there's a motion and a second, we'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous approval of the vouchers. And we will all sign it.
There you go.
And now we have a financial update from Dawn.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hello, everybody.
So
I have, let's see here. I'm missing one of the reports. I'm gonna pull it up. Do you want me to share the screen?
yes, please.
Okay.
Do I need to give you permission?
I think so. I sent the request.
Allow. Okay. All right. Is it letting you know?
Okay, let's see here. Yes. Okay. Now, is this big enough right here for you?
No, can you like make it bigger? I don't know why it's not coming out to the full. Let's see here. Yeah,
I can make it bigger.
okay.
I think. I think I have to manually type it in.
I think you might need to do it up in the toolbar at the top to expand the actual window it's in, because the window is very small. Yeah, one of
Let's
those that like do the full screen. Is it on full screen already?
No, I'm going to go
Oh,
ahead and, well, my screen is,
oh
I
yeah, you
don't
got the
know.
big screen. That's right.
No, I widened it.
That's
Okay. Is
bigger. That's better.
that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. So, as you can see, hopefully, that the IDD funds has a total of $2,983,943.96. I will be, next month, you'll see in the reports a transfer. I will be transferring, or I have transferred 500,000 of the available IDD over to the invested account. So next month, you'll see 2,500,000 in the invested funds. In the general funds, we have a total of $721,788.19, and 600,000 of that remains invested. Let's see here. When looking at, I mean, you guys didn't have a very long at all to get to look at the budget or the reports, but if you did happen to get a chance to look at them, did any of you have any questions at all or concerns or?
I just have a comment about that ICT bond back on the first page, which
Oh,
has,
that's a placeholder. They require you to have, that's been there forever, and it will get used again if we ever have like a levy or some levy, I believe, or something.
well, I did discover that when the Greenbank Farm was purchased with money from Highland County and the conservation people, it was
Yeah,
done with a bond, a
yeah.
non-voted bond against the levy. So
Hmm.
when they were making those payments, the first one had to be against that bond, which was against the levy of the court. So it is a real placeholder based on an activity that actually happened.
Yes, yeah. It was just quite a while ago.
Yes, but it has money in it.
Yes, it's about what, $600. I think that in order to keep the placeholder for the account, there's a reason for it being there. Because I
Okay.
did ask Tony at one time when in 2019 when I started,
Uh-huh.
um, and he said that all I remember is that he didn't suggest moving it or transferring it and keeping the account. So
Yeah, it was interesting for me to find out about that kind of a bond. Because people for years have referred to the money as a loan and a mortgage, and it never was either of those. It was a much more legal way to get their money because they had dibs on our levy.
Interesting.
And all it took was the commissioners who were in office at the time to make that happen.
yeah,
It was not a voted thing at all. The people did not decide to pay the money to buy the Greenbank farm. The commissioners, I'm sure with the help of the Greenbank Farm Management Group, uh, signed to take the money from, where it was available in order to buy the farm. Good to know where you start.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And I know, I remember it was quite the controversy at the time.
Yeah, thank you. That's all
You're
I have.
welcome. Okay.
So, Don, where
Yes.
does the interest revenue off of our invested money, where does that show up on our budget?
Okay. Can you see my cursor moving around?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. So the IDD,
So that's interest.
yes,
That's quite a bit of change.
The 30, is it the 34,000 that's interest?
it's 34. And then in the regular general account, we have earned a little over 10,000.
Am I correct that the interest on the ID money is IDD money only, as well as
Nope.
the initial levy?
Nope, it's going into the general.
So once we can collect, if we invest IDD money, the interest that we earn off it can be used for
Mhm.
operations.
Yep.
Okay, so it isn't as limited as the levy.
Mhm.
That's encouraging.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we just have to remember when we budget and as in the future that, that 50 grand a year is not going to be there.
Right,
When
yeah.
we're budgeting, it's kind of nice to pretend that it doesn't happen. But that's not always the case.
Well, wouldn't it continue as long as we have that investment, that
Mhm.
dollar invested, unless those dollars go away?
Well, I mean, if we're investing IDD money, and then we go to, then, I mean, when we pull the money out of the investment, because we're gonna spend it on a capital improvement project, that's when
Mhm.
then that's when the interest stops. Is that the situation, Don, when we need that money to do capital projects and we need to pull it out of the investment?
Well, that and the fact that the IDD it only lasts so many years. So once the funds are depleted, but then we don't have any investment income in the extra. So right now it's kind of extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These funds are, it's not necessarily something to be counted on in the future, only
But
until
it-
we have the IDD.
But it will be there as long as there is an IDD and we don't spend it. If
Correct.
we don't spend the interest, it'll be there.
Right.
Until we
Yeah.
draw it out.
Yeah, we draw it
Yeah.
out.
We do
But
it right.
for the taxpayers, I'm assuming that they're expecting it to be spent.
Yes. Well, and it will need to be spent.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been a pretty routine year. I mean, we don't have a whole lot going on. We should be seeing this month a deposit in July for the is it the EPA grant? So we should be seeing that coming in the next reports. I think it was about 64,000. It was an automatic withdrawal, not an automatic withdrawal, an automatic deposit. So we physically didn't get it, so we don't see it until we get the treasurer's reports for July.
And what project would that EPA money have come from then?
I think it was the pond and the wharf. It was kind of split up between the pond and the wharf.
Okay.
So let's see here. I have
Find the federal money for the pond project.
We
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Because of the expectations or whatever.
Right. So is the EP money just the wharf then?
Pretty much,
Okay.
No, well, there was some pond, wasn't there? I can't remember. There was only a few things that qualified because of
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe we didn't take the bulk of it or
Yeah.
Yeah.
things that didn't have to go through the whole process of procuring permits and.
So this grant money that's coming in, we've already paid for these services and this grant money is sort of paying us, like we get to take
Yeah.
that money in as.
Yeah, it's reimbursement for
yeah.
the funds. And then I think we have an additional funds that we can apply for with the RCED grant, the county. So, and that is also with the pond project. I have to go over that one with Mary. But for now, we've already submitted and received the EPA funds. So did anybody else have any questions in regards to the reports or any concerns or anything they'd like to see?
Well, I did have one other question,
Okay.
but it's not for that particular report. It's for the P&L
Oh, okay.
January through June.
Mm-hmm.
There was just one item in the employee compensation called bonus for $208, and I didn't understand what that was or who got it, or maybe you can enlighten me.
Actually, I know what you're talking about. It was a call out for emergency. I believe that was Paul Fisher who got called out for an emergency on the weekend. And we didn't have a line item for it for payroll, so we put it under bonus.
Well, I was concerned because I remember that we've been informed that there is no bonus payment to
Yeah,
employees.
I should just rename that, but I wanted to find out what it was we were going to be renaming it, because we used to have a budgeted line item for call outs, and that's when we were going to it was the court's plan to reimburse employees who were on call for the events that happened at the farm, because at that time they had to physically come down and check it out and close it up and set the alarms. I think now that's all done virtually.
I'm just concerned because of the wording, not
Yeah.
because of the action, because
Yeah,
we were.
we're gonna I just have to change the wording. Yeah, I will change the wording on it.
Thank you.
I just wanted to go over that with Marissa first to see, because I'd rather it be labeled as something that we're going to be utilizing in the future, or that, I don't want to have to change it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think like something as far as like after hours services, something like that, or after
Mhm.
hours fee, something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I do have another question in the employee compensation list. One item is called project manager, and I was wondering if that was projects from the IDD or other projects.
It's
I know
all,
that-
everything is IDD that's 5,000 or more. So it's all IDD, and that, I do
So project manager in your P&L for the first half of this year, that is all IDD expense?
well, the job description and duties have changed a bit. So what the employees do, what the facility maintenance person does, and what Mary does for us is on their timesheets, they allocate in other words, they notate. There's a cheat sheet where they can notate which hours or which items on their timesheet are IDD related. And then I have to go and capture all that and do a journal entry at the end of the year.
Right, but as you listed here on the P&L, it's all one number, all the different aspects of the job are put together into one amount so that the IDD money and the general money are sort of mixed together in that payment. Is that correct?
This is it is a benefit that we get to write off that part of the administration operating costs. So it's up to us to track it, record it, and make the journal entry. If we don't, then we don't get to utilize it as IDD. So it's really up to us to do that.
Can you
And
show me that where that line item is? Because I think what Marianne is asking is the total next to project manager, is that, are you saying that, is that mixed IDD money and regular operating coming out of our operating budget? Or is it all IDD money? Um,
right here, this is all
Here.
operating budget.
Okay, so right now, the project manager, the title project manager, when that was the title, that employee has made $29,350, $350 just say, right? And
Yeah.
that money right now is allocated out of our general fund. But at the end of the year, what you're saying is you go through and you separate the IDD hours that were allocated for that role.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so currently, all the funds that are showing right there, Marianne, have come out of our regular operating budget, our general operating budget.
Although at the end of the year, that will change.
Yes, and where do
Yeah.
you keep track of those IDD hours, Dawn? Do you have to go
It's the
back?
it's the timesheets that are provided on a monthly basis or on a semi-monthly basis.
Okay, and then so you just keep track of those on a spreadsheet, or do you go through each timesheet at the end of the year?
Nope, I don't do it on a spreadsheet. I do it at the end of the year because salaries change, the tax changes, and I have to um, do it by quarter, more or less.
Okay.
Hopefully, it just depends on the basic changes that happen throughout the year. But I can show you what I did for broadband
Yeah.
and what I did for the IDD
Okay.
last year. And because on the budget, I did the same thing. I had to make a journal entry. And if you see the year-end reports for 2025, you'll see an entry in IDD for project manager, and those are the hours and the salary and the benefits, the taxes, everything that I compiled that was generated by the hours that she worked for IDD.
Got it.
So in order to separate those month by month would be up to Mary to have two separate sheets.
Well, it would really, I mean, we could probably keep an internal, I was just talking about updating how these sheets, because we have lots of different, like you guys even have different per diem sheets, so I'm gonna be standardizing these and the time sheets. And then coming up with a different system of calculating, because I get different sheets from the wharf, I get different sheets here. So we can start keeping track of them internally too. I can keep track of the IDD hours,
I
or
don't
find a
want-
better way to help Dawn figure it out at the end of the year too. Because if she's having to like go through each timesheet and there's different formats, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even some of the stuff that some of the dock hands do on the wharf can be considered IDD sometimes, right?
I,
Well,
Yeah, like-
they are supposed to flag it, and just like Mary does is and take and flag it as IDD.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to just come up with an Excel spreadsheet that totals it all, because I need it by time period. Because if somebody gets a raise, or it's I kind of have to know when the time happens. I can't just have a flat number at the end of the year that somebody gave me. So
No, I totally
yeah.
understand that. I think what Mary wants is some clarity on how many hours right now do
Oh.
we have going towards IDD for, I mean, because you can do some basic calculations looking at, okay, we've spent so far out of the general fund, we've spent $186,000 in
Mhm.
salaries or in pay to employees. And if I calculate, okay, well, out of that 186, say that's 700 hours of work, and out of those 700 hours of work, I've calculated or kept track or tracked that there's been 400 for IDD hours, right? I think that's a metric or a measurement
Yeah.
that would help people understand
I
what that
just-
deferment will be.
I don't wanna make life unreasonably complicated. I just want to spend the money out of IDD because it's a bigger pot. I
Yep.
wanna protect.
Nope. I
Yeah,
totally understand that. But I don't only just look at IDD. I look at the taxes, the company side of the taxes, and I also look at all the benefits too. So there's a percentage of the hours worked of IDD, and then I go and I calculate the benefits in the company side of the taxes as well. So that everything, the total cost of the employee working those IDD hours is part of IDD funds.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Are there any more questions or comments for Dawn?
No.
I'm good.
Okay, let's see.
I have one more. Memberships. We have miscellaneous dues for $295 for the past 6 months. We have a WPPA, which costs us $1,135, but this other small amount, I'm wondering what dues and memberships we have that are referenced with this relatively small amount of $295.
Is that
Oh, I can tell you, I can open this up right now. So it looks like we have $150 to preserve Washington. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but that was done in January 21st. And then we have the EDC Council of 120. And then we have the Whidbey Island Water Systems Association, which is, and it's the group dues for Group B for 2026 was $25.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So what was the first one? What was it called?
Preserve Washington.
Yes. Yeah.
And
So
that,
these are all voluntary contributions of groups that was decided a good thing to join.
It'd be interesting to know a little bit more what that first one is.
Yeah.
Who and what
Yeah.
is a nonprofit? Is it-
It's in Washington.
Yeah.
there
It looks like,
Oh, that's part of the war.
yeah. I think the only thing that we haven't done yet is I think the chamber, I'm really kind of surprised, but the Coupeville Chamber doesn't seem like that one's been paid yet.
And MRSC as a due, but it must not have come, that's an annual fee,
yeah,
but that must come in the second half of the year.
it must. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a survey that we need to fill out right now so they can calculate our dues for next year.
Ah,
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They do that every year. This one.
okay.
what's the date on that one?
This one was January 21st, so it won't happen again until either
Yeah,
December or January.
Yeah, okay, so that's the WPPA right there, but it's listed under Washington Ports membership.
Yeah, and it's 2026. Okay. So yeah, the only one that I'm not seeing right now is the chambers. Let me see what our budget says here. This will help. Oh, no, there's going to be a few more. Let's see, the chambers, Coupeville Historic, the small roster I have not seen, and Whidbey Island growers, sorry, fill it out. So those ones I have not seen. Which is really odd because I paid mine.
I wonder when they come, I can go looking for them in the email. I'll look at that. I'll go look at the budget and see what hasn't come through yet.
Okay. And I have a meeting with Chua, but I'm not really sure. The ones that I would really look for is small MRSC, the small rosters, and the Whidbey Island Grows, because I don't have membership with those ones, and I don't do their accounting, but I do the chambers, and which is why I'm really surprised that they haven't.
Where does the $700 tax thing for Schwa show up?
On the
We-
budget,
Yeah,
I think that's under, is that under individual?
that was something where we contribute to the local group, instead of, again, it comes as a credit against one of our taxes.
It comes as a credit against our
The
B and
B&O
O tax, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's in here. I just can't remember where we put it. I think it's under either individual or other.
So there would be an entry for the payment and an entry for the,
Yeah, we usually don't pay that until September.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How does that transaction work out though, Don? So do we just send Schwab the check or does the state of Washington send it?
No, what I do is when I'm authorized during budget to do the $700 credit
Uh-huh.
contribution, I log into Secure Access of Washington and I apply for the credit for the port, and then I
Okay.
print out the letter that's received and I put it in the folder to be paid.
Okay. Okay, so we get the credit and then we create a voucher and send it to them after we get the credit.
I
Okay.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Good questions.
Anything else on the financial update?
Nope.
All right, we will move on to.
Oh, I actually do have one thing. Did you guys see sorry about that. Did you guys see the Department of River leasehold audit that I sent? Besides and I've mentioned this before, but besides the regular accountability and the financial audit that the port went through, which was a little timely, we were also contacted during the close of it by the Washington State Department of Revenue Leasehold Tax Department. And there was another audit with a ton of inquiries for a very long time. In fact, at the end of it, Marissa ended up, helping me supply answers and rebuttals to some of their claims, which all our efforts did pay off because we had no fines. Thankfully, they were ready to fine us on everything.
Yes, they were. They were.
We don't charge enough for rent. I mean, everything we were doing was wrong. And and I managed to find a previous letter stating that it was okay for us not to do certain things, with like agriculture and so forth. But in the end, they did kind of warn us that we need to get our tenants up to market rate. But I did also prove to them that this was something that we have started to do after COVID, and we were just waiting on lease renewals or new leases and items to be okayed through the process. And I basically showed them everything that we had done and said that we are trying, we just can't increase them all at once because that wouldn't be fair. That would really hurt our tenants, and we didn't want to do that. So I just wanted to let you know that they are expecting to see increases, gradually with every new renewal. And I did warn them. I said, we just updated nearly 90% of them all at the same time. So you're not going to see this for a while. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that was primarily on the agricultural land that they were concerned about, Don, or was that for our regular?
All across the board, market rates. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for sure the agricultural land leases need to be increased, but one of the arguments that we had as to why it was so low was that our lands are not improved and that there are conditions with the soils that aren't good, and we had soil studies done to prove that. But they came back and said, that's your problem. Basically, that's your problem. You can improve your land. You should be charging this much. We should be getting this much tax money from you guys. So at the end of the day, if we have a reduced lease, and this has been so many weeks since we had this conversation, Don.
Yeah.
But basically, so if we're giving a farmer, you know, say we're charging them $500 for 2 acres a month, and really we should be charging $900. If we just charge them the tax rate of the $900, but keep the lease at $500, they're okay with that. They want they want the tax revenue. Am I right when how I read that in her letter?
That and or I also I think it kind of stopped when she was trying to compare rates with like Whatcom County and other counties, and
State deal.
she was stating these god awful amounts, and I said, well, I happen to do the books for quite a few farmers around here, and I don't know anybody that pays over $1,000 a year for their land lease, and we're talking 50 acres, to grow some squash or something, and that kind of shut her up.
Yeah,
I didn't get a response after that one.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a floodplain for
Yeah.
our soils. Skagit and Whatcom, they're very high demand. They're some of the most productive farmland in the country.
Yeah. Per island.
Yeah, Whitby's an island.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's
we
got
have
wind, storms, and erosion.
yeah, and we have
Yeah.
we have water issues
Yeah.
and all kinds of things that kind of
Not that there's not some great farming happening on
Yeah.
Whidbey Island, but it's not
Yeah.
Skagit.
yeah.
But Marissa is right. We could
That's not
fair.
increase them and do the discount and then pay, and then contribute the actual leasehold amount. The other thing is that the farmers can prove that they deserve the tax break as well and not be taxed at all.
So we're
So-
covering the difference?
We're not on this go around. I think they let us get by this time, but said increase the rates. And I mean right now we're yeah, so basically what we need to do is we need to look at the which is something that is part of a project that we need to do anyway, like in-house, is look at the agricultural land and make it more marketable for farmers to come out here.
And the water they get for nothing,
Yeah.
basically, isn't.
Yeah, no, there definitely needs to be a
Considered
higher
yet.
charge for water, I think.
Yeah, that's something we
Yeah.
can talk
Yeah.
about in the future.
Yeah, that we need to make sure that that's all considered. But if we end up renting land to a farm, maybe there is something about our land that it does make sense market wise that it would be 500 compared to 900, right? So we give the farmer that, but then the taxable, what we'd say is, yeah, but we're going to tax you on the premium rate or the going market rate.
Yeah.
But you're getting this lower lease rate from us, but you're getting taxed on what the state thinks that this land
Okay.
should be
So
worth.
they would in effect pay a little more.
They would pay a little more on
Because they're
their
covering the
taxes.
tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she was suggesting for us to do, but I told her that wasn't fair.
Yeah, and,
So-
and yeah,
Yeah.
after that,
Because then it looks like then there'll be an audit on our revenue, and they'll say, well, your revenue doesn't match your tax returns, is what I told her. And so and then they'll charge us for doing another audit when they're the ones that made us, so I told her, I said that I don't think that is feasible, because then our revenue looks overstated to the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
And Marianne, to your point, I don't know how our agricultural leases are written, but it's pretty common for water to be a flat item within a farm lease up to a certain amount, because a lot of farms don't have sub-metering capabilities. So I don't know, like, that should be in the lease somehow. That
Yeah. I'd have to look at the
Yeah.
lease too and see.
that what the lease includes.
Yeah.
Like,
It's especially important in a drought season which
Mhm.
we have now.
yeah,
Mhm.
for like 4
We
years,
had-
5 years running.
To have free water is an issue.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of, you've done a lot of research on the water here, and that we have our surface water permits or certificates, and we do have a lot of surface water coming into the farm. It feeds that pond, and then it bypasses the pond and goes into the wetlands.
When things get fixed.
Yeah.
With the surface water, it will give us options.
For
everything.
agriculture,
Yeah, we'll have a lot more.
Yeah, and we already have the infrastructure to deliver that surface water up to the farm. We just need to start using it and making sure that the system stays, used and primed, because if it doesn't, then the water is pretty disgusting because it's just pulling from the bottom of that pond, which is very foul.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to water crops with that. And it does not
Big
smell good.
piece.
Yeah.
So would that mean we may end up watering the pad or the farm areas even if they're not occupied, just to?
I mean, I think we probably would, and I don't, and it's not like it's wasting water, because I think what would end up really, this is just surface water that's moving through our property right now that we capture currently
Yeah.
in that pond, and we have boards that allow us to regulate that pond. So if the pond's getting too high, we remove a board, and then it allows more water to go into the wetlands.
Mhm.
So if we wanted to, on a regular basis, be irrigating certain parts of the farm just to keep the system primed and the water fresh and that by the pump, then, and this is just stuff that I've heard from other farmers on the land. So please, I'm not an
Yeah.
expert here. I'm just
No, that
repeating
makes
what I've
sense.
heard.
And you just need
Yeah.
to run. You need
Yeah.
to
Well,
run
you
the-
need to use it. You need to
Yeah.
use it in order for it to be
To work,
and working.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we haven't, and we have those we did have all the piping with the fittings and everything like that, but then we had a pea patch resident that
Oh,
destroyed those pipes. So that would be an investment that we'd need to make again, is purchasing enough pipes to lay down, because there's like a hole, there's like a big pipe up here that you would put those pipes, you
Yeah.
can screw them all in, and then it pulls the water all the way up to the top of the property. And my understanding is when the organic farm was here, that's how they would water the crops.
Yeah,
was with
we're
that.
recycling it.
Yeah.
Daily, basically.
Yes, daily. And there's like a certain amount of water I think you could take out of that pond, so that there's still enough water for the water suppression system to, in case we had a fire in Barney, then we could still put the fire out.
Yeah, that's good news overall. We just
Yeah.
need to be set up and start using it,
Yeah.
even as we're trying to get more tenants.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And we can turn on the pump, and I did have Paul turn it on the other day when you were talking about it, and he said it was disgusting and he wanted to throw up when it came out of the pipe. Yeah. So
Goose poop, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot of goose poop. So
So
it works.
there's urgency for that anyway.
Yeah, and I think Chris had it on like a schedule. He's got a schedule of things that you just want to go run and make sure they're working. And one of them was priming that water pump and making sure that the water was still coming out and everything. So that was something, it just needs to happen, but it probably needs to happen on a regular basis too.
Mhm. Okay.
I remember one year, a long time ago, we cleaned out the pond, and the guy that did it filled up a tanker truck, and then he went up on one road and spread that pond water all around the grassy area of one
It's
road.
probably very fertile.
Yeah,
But I
there's.
mean, it was like, why?
So it was kind of interesting. We had the pond engineer out a couple weeks ago. He wanted to take a look at a couple things. It was actually a really interesting visit. And that was when he talked us into pushing the project to the spring of next year, because he's like, you guys do not do this in October. If we get a rainstorm, he's like, you're already going to have 60 truckloads of muddy, silty water being trucked out of here.
Well, that's expensive.
Right. So could you imagine if you added more rain to that, and how much more, that's what increases the cost of a project, right? So you want to go in low rain season. All that makes sense. And when he explained that, I was like, absolutely, we're going in the spring.
Yeah, so we want to go like tail end of the rainy season,
Yes.
but early in the tourist season.
Yes, exactly. So that we're coming out of the rainy season. So if we do get a rainstorm, it's only going to stop us for a couple weeks. Whereas these contractors in October, we could just get, rain, and they're going to be like, you know what, we're just going to come back in the spring.
Maybe.
Now we got a big mud pit that looks gross all the way to the spring. So we might as well just start the pit in the spring. And hopefully have less stuff to haul out of the pond.
Okay,
Okay.
now we'll move to number 7, old business resolution 335. The recapture of the broadband grant. We have a resolution that explains the same things that we got in a letter concerning the necessary recapture of the funds, because we did not comply with that, with the contract for that grant. Do we have any discussion?
Is,
Or
do you want to
motion.
state a motion?
Yes, we can do that first, if you'd like.
It'd probably be the proper way to do that.
Yeah.
And I make a motion that we approve resolution number 335 that states that, the commissioners are authorizing the execution of a Public Works Board broadband program repayment agreement number PBC 22-96104 and -014R with the Washington State Public Works Board for the recapture and repayment of funds previously awarded under contract PBC 22-96104-014.
I second that motion.
Okay,
Now, is there any discussion, John or Shane?
well, initially, I guess I was not a real fan of this,
Mhm. I remember.
you know. I still am puzzled by the fact that taxpayer money goes to Washington DC. It's really taxpayer money. And then they hand it out to people like the Public Works Board. I mean, it's just the way this whole process of our money flowing is, I question, why recapture is really pertinent, but it's like, it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
When I bring it up at Public Works Board meeting, there's that uncomfortable silence, and then it's like, that's just the way it is.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So,
And I know you reached out to quite a few people to see what could be done about this.
yeah.
Yes, I was, realizing we have to follow what they've told us to do. And frankly, I am very pleased that the result of all of this has been very reasonable as far as what they could have asked for
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
how they could have required interest. There is no interest on this recapture.
Yep.
And the time of 10 years seems reasonable given the amount. I think it's something we know we have to do and it's something we'll be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So-
is pretty reasonable terms for
Mhm.
a not great situation.
Yeah,
And, I wasn't present for really any of this, but it does seem like would have been challenging for the port to complete the grant, but from what I've understood and learning about it, like, also, like, we just weren't able to get it done before the sands shifted, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah. It's like outside of our expertise, I guess, but.
well, no, even beyond that. I mean, it was like ISP issues of being bought and sold,
Yeah.
trying to cut deals which were required by the grant.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, your partner goes south and, the port's partner, and
Yeah,
it's just like trying to, grab a cloud. There's not anything you can grab.
yeah. And
So-
and hopefully there is some value in the work that we did complete that we might.
I think in nothing else, it scared the hell out of the ISPs to get it in gear and start
Yeah.
building out.
They did build out fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Like,
And that was probably the design of the timing with it too, was to just get people to like build quickly.
right.
mhm.
And if you were a private company going for that grant money, then you had a lot more steam in front of you, with the expertise and just the ability to mobilize quickly because you already have the relationships in place and things
Yeah.
like that, and you are the ISP. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's,
yeah, based on my research, other ports and cities and towns that have been successful already had going a plan for broadband before they applied for and received the
So
grant.
they were farther along
They
before.
were they knew what they were going to do before they got into the grant at
I
all.
see.
And for the Port of Coopville, that wasn't the case.
no.
yeah.
And it's like Skagit. Skagit already had a big plan with the PUD and they'd already, they were ready to plug in the money.
So the grant just helped them get it done
Mhm.
faster.
Get done what
Yeah.
they already wanted, had planned and,
Good consistency.
done
Yeah.
everything they could. Because what that taught me is that the money is the easy part.
Yeah, the
The
planning
money,
is a lot.
it's all the work to know what to do with it.
Yeah, and grant compliance is difficult even when not in a challenging like environment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But hopefully, there is a chance we could recoup some of that. Not maybe not a lot, but
There's some engineering plans.
Mhm.
And then there's also some poles, some like space on the poles that I need to look into, but I wanted to kind of work on this recapture part and then move on to the poles and the
Yeah.
engineering plans and deal with the petrocore, oh my God, I'm losing my words here, but the company that, or the
Well,
petrocore.
Petrichor is about a half a dozen ports form Petrichor.
Right,
And as a resource to be a consultant to other
a
ports.
consultant, that's the word I was looking for. So there was also some comments that the Public Works Board said to go back and like kind of look at something with petrocore, that there could be some type of
Yeah.
compensation there too. So I wrote all those notes down when I was in conversations with them, and I will go back to that and see what I can do.
Good, thank
Yeah.
you. And I think taking this first step, being in compliance.
Yeah,
Taking the steps we need to is like what we need to be in good standing and operating in good faith in order to, because there's also like this is gonna hurt the bottom line of the port. And
Yes.
we want we have a story around it that we have to tell, and
Yes.
why it didn't work out and what we're trying
Yeah.
to do
yes,
as
And I think.
an adjustment, I guess.
Yes, and I think today we're telling a story that's easy to tell to others.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just, one step. So this resolution, the recapture contract really only requires Mary Ann's signature for the Public Works Board. That's what they need to move on with for their next process. There is one, another contract that will come up just basically closing out the grant and all the other things. So once I get this signed and over to them, Tammy's gonna send me the next one. So you'll see that on the next meeting.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to have a resolution for that, but if I do, you'll see it.
Okay.
But I wanted to create a resolution for this, just to like, to get this, documented properly. Let you all have a say and put your signature on the understanding of what happened here.
Okay,
Yeah,
All right, are we ready for a vote?
yeah,
All
Yeah.
in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous approval of resolution 335.
thank you.
And we have the signature.
yeah, I mean, I came in this without knowing anything either, and I have to say that Tammy from the Public Works Board has been very helpful, explaining everything to me and giving me direction on, what we can do to possibly recoup funds too. So they've been a really good partner and very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why we need to stand up on our end of the bargain.
Yeah.
We don't want to play the victim either.
Yes, exactly. I agree. All right, thank you.
Now we have number 8, executive director update.
So, we've been busy since we met last. We hired a part-time event coordinator, which has been very nice because one of the big things that we're gonna be really focusing on for the future of the Port of Coupeville is really developing our events program here at the Green Bank Farm, because that's gonna be a revenue business for us.
Sustainable. events.
Yes, sustainable. It'll be a sustainable situation that will hopefully add to our bottom line and, a very profitable business in the future.
And who's that?
Events business here.
Who got hired?
Oh, Rebecca Wentworth.
Okay,
Yeah.
what'd she do before?
Well, she's worked, she works in the pet industry, and she works at Ned's, business over here right next door, but she's been involved in a lot of event planning. She has a lot of hobbies that kind of bring her into like history, reproduction. I can't remember the word that they use for this hobby, but where you like have events where you reproduce historical moments or kind of reenactments. Yeah. And she's done a lot of event planning and things in that area. And she's been very helpful. She's really been here for a week, and she's getting all of our lists organized. We're getting them into shared environments on the web, on our system here, so that we can all participate in doing stuff, putting together vendor lists and trying to grow our vendor list for the harvest fair, things like that. So just in the last few days, a lot going on there, and it's taken a lot of pressure off of Mary and I too, because we've been trying to like book events and do things, meanwhile trying to also run the business of the port. So there's
The farm is great for reenacting.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to use it.
yeah.
So she's directly tied to revenue creation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we actually had our first music event here in Barn A last Thursday. It was a big success. We had probably about 70 community members show up, and it was an all donation event. So the band performed for donations. We had a booth there, at the event, and we got about $253 in donations from the community members. Holly had the wine shop open, and she did really good sales on beer and wine. We had a beer and wine garden. We had the Wandering Asian food truck here, so they were the food provider for the event. Everybody had a good time, made good money. Holly was very happy with the attendance and the sales for that night. So our next one's going to be in August, and we're hopefully we'll have more people, word of mouth, and just more advertising and things like that. So yeah.
What is the expense side?
Really, I mean, for that event was just, we had Mary was there, so she was I was in a wedding, so I couldn't be there that night, but so that was one expense, and then just some of the setup and stuff, but maybe a couple hours in setup with our groundskeepers. So not really, that $253, probably.
Did that cover it?
It could have. I don't know. I can't say conclusively because I'd have to do the math, but yeah.
That's going to be important going forward.
Yes. Oh, we're going to be keeping track. Like that's one of the things about with the events as we move forward is keeping track of what we earn, and then talking about, like, even this morning we spent a lot of time talking about, okay, how do we improve on the next one? Where else can we get money or bring in income? So we're already that's kind of where we're putting our energy and focusing on there. We are the goal is to really get that barn booked with classes, events, things like that, 100%, right? So that we know how to manage those events efficiently, how to make money at those types of events, things like that. So we're working with the Pilates Collective. We're going to start doing regular yoga classes in the barn. And there's a line dancing. We're bringing someone to do. So we're just starting to bring in a lot of different things. We have an art class this Thursday that sold out. So it's a glass artist in Coopville. She actually originally reached out because she wanted to do a little art installation at the wharf where she would have like a little vending machine with like some glass art that people could buy out of the vending machine, and she still wants to do that, and she's looking at some stuff there. But then we got to talking, and I was like, hey, why don't you teach a class at our barn, and we'll advertise you guys, and we'll all this stuff. So she was like, sure, let's do it. So we started advertising it, and we are totally sold out on that event. So 21 people coming this Thursday. The fee for that class was $65. So you can see there's an appetite. Now that goes to that artist, and then we get the fee for the rental of the site. But you can see that we're providing a space for people to have business in, right? Her studio is very small. She couldn't host 21 people in her studio. She could maybe host 5 people. So anyway, we're practicing a lot of different things here, and we're just going to continue to improve upon it.
So do the food truck rent space?
We invited the food truck here for free because there needed to be food here for this event, and we have no way of providing food. The port doesn't. So as these events start to attract more people and become popular, then we can charge
Right.
for those food trucks to be here. Yes,
We're
but we have to.
privileged.
Yes, yeah. Right now we're like saying, please come to our site. We're gonna promote this, and right now it's gonna be for donations. But if you're providing a service like food, clearly there needs to be a fee for that. But like I said, we're gonna keep on building on it, and at some point it's gonna be maybe food trucks are lining up for that privilege, right? I mean, that's the goal.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting to see something grow
Yes.
from
Yeah.
that first event to which
Yeah.
makes us apparent and available.
Yeah.
And I remember from Creighton report on the event,
Yeah.
and like the costs, like most of them were pretty close to breaking even.
Yes. Yeah, they were.
I remember it didn't seem as bad as I was led to believe.
Yeah.
I think there's some adjustment and like some revenue opportunities, but having more events, increasing the attraction of the Green Bank Farm.
Yeah.
And the way the leases are structured could be different for different kinds of activities.
100%. Lots of different activities. Some I think, health and wellness activities, some are purely entertainment, things like that. But, getting as many people associated with that barn and doing business out of that barn, it's going to bring us something positive, right?
That actually triggered a memory. 20 years ago, I think I went to like a business mixer in the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I had like a small business on the south end, and I don't know who hosted it, Kiwanis or Rotary or one of those, but it was just like a business networking event.
Yeah.
So like business owners from the island just got together and they paid the rental fee and then provided some refreshments, and it was just like an evening activity because they
Like a networking.
it was just a business networking.
Okay.
And I guess that must have been probably 2004, so during the management group era.
Yeah.
But it was just like a nice, easy event.
Yeah.
They probably just paid the fee to rent and then put on this whole thing.
Our fee would have been $150 to rent out the barn for the time period that we did, and we earned $253 in donations. So I think that if our fee structure is set up appropriately with the cost of business, then yes, we made money. If you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, do you have further?
Oh, yeah, and then, here I got the port received 250 in direct donations. The band actually reported it was the best event that they've performed at. There was people were dancing, having a good time. Everybody, all the vendors that participated, the wine shop, Wandering Asian, everybody very happy with the participation. So we feel like there will be more participation in the future. Some upcoming stuff that we have going on is the art class. We have the garage sale planned. We're getting a lot of people coming in and putting down money for a spot. We have 25 people registered. 7 have paid right now, which this is the thing where I'm like, I wish we could do payments online because people want to do this thing and they say, yes, I want to do this online, but then they have to come here and write a check. Right. And that is like such a killer for us. So we really need to get that sorted out so that we can be receiving these payments online so people can commit with their money online. And of course we want them to show up, but if they don't, then they don't. You know what I mean?
They aren't paying.
Yeah.
What's the major barrier to getting like a?
We do have a point of sale. I mean, Dawn could probably speak to this more, and I don't want to put her on the spot too much because she just walked away. But we have a point of sale system at the wharf, and I think we could probably do something similar to here. I just need to do more investigating with it, and I think I need to talk to Heritage Bank and get something set up. And then I don't know if that point of sale system that we have at the wharf can be like something that we could put online. I have no idea. So these are the things I need to
This
understand.
is great, and the reason why some of them might have 2 more is because
she's not on.
the
not good.
insurance get paid quarterly. So there's-
I'll get her. Yeah.
So doesn't like at the wharf, if we have cash, doesn't that get deposited like it would be on a bank or something?
Yeah, we deposit the money. So the cash comes here in the door. Mary takes the cash. She does a manual deposit. And she drives it up to the bank and she deposits it into the bank. So it's a very,
Yeah, I'm sure there's a simple.
yeah.
Well,
We
the
really.
bank offers Evalon, because that's what we use in our business
Mhm.
through Whidbey Island. And, my wife just has this little thing in her hand
Yeah.
and walks up to a client and says, check, cash, or credit card. And they say, credit cards, beep.
Yeah.
It prints the receipt on the spot.
I think the thing is, and I think it could just be a little bookkeeping duty that we can probably do in-house, but I think with Island County having, if we suddenly kind of open up the coffers for people to start sending in payments, they're gonna have all these transactions. Island County will have all these transactions to like audit. Like, so those probably what we would do is like, we use a machine here or some type of pay terminal here, and then we do the auditing or do the reconciling of it and then give it to
Yeah.
Dawn. So it's like okay, so for the online garage sale fee, we collected $300. Here's all the it's 8 transactions that happened for that to,
I know
occur.
gifts from the heart, the food people in Cookville,
Yeah.
they just accept PayPal.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there's a reason we can't. 'Cause I know we're a municipality. Like,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
nonprofit
there's a
work for.
charge, there's a cost,
Yeah.
but that's that's the option they have. Is a credit card number,
Yeah, because then you can pay it online.
PayPal.
Yeah. We need to do something there and we need to do it soon because I think it really kind of opens a lot of doors for us when it comes to, we advertise on Facebook, we say, okay, this is the fee, but then it's like the barrier is driving to the farm.
Yeah,
With a
that
check.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that also true when we have like private events like weddings and?
Yeah,
all that?
yeah,
It's all the same
absolutely.
system.
Yeah, they have to either mail a check in. Yeah, it's very
That's
school.
you don't compete very well with where it's easy to do it.
Yeah. Well, we will absolutely need to get to some digital.
That's gotta be a
yeah.
priority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
I was curious if you have any more updates on the cafe.
On
Did they have to push it back again, or the bistro?
On the bistro. Okay, so with the bistro, we thought they were gonna open last week. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't open. I think it may have had something to do with a broken kegerator.
Oh gosh.
So we're still waiting to find out what's going on there, but it feels like any day. I mean, Kate made a Cisco order, so she was ordering
She's got
food and she's getting ready to do it. So it does feel like it's gonna happen very soon, but I don't know what the particular holdup
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
They don't seem to have like a marketing plan.
No, she's not a social media person or a marketing person.
Right.
She likes to cook.
But she needs to do something.
Yes.
So
can't
does
even
that mean that she's not going to be open before the glass art class?
I don't think she's gonna be open before the glass art class, or that could be her opening night, Dawn. But I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So that means that my team and I have to go somewhere else. Because I'm one of those 21 people that signed up.
Yes,
Oh,
Dawn's coming to our art class.
yeah. I know it's not exactly our business, but I'm like, I can't find any information about them except from our February
I know.
newsletter.
Yeah, and we actually put it in the last newsletter thinking that they were going to be open, and then they weren't. So that was like fake news on our half.
Because I don't know, it makes like they've done, like I saw inside the last meeting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And
Yeah.
the signage is beautiful, but like if they don't,
Wasn't there a menu on the?
Yeah,
menu's
there's a menu on the door.
it
Yeah.
looks really good.
And she was making French fries the other day and let us taste some. Just
so
ask
she's
what like
good
cut.
then.
Yeah. Do you like the thin cut or the thick cut? They both tasted really good. I liked the thin ones better.
Like, yeah,
so.
if they don't do some marketing,
This is not.
they're not going to last
Yeah,
very long.
yeah. I mean, so many people ask about the bistro. I feel like everybody on the island knows about it. I
Yeah.
can't go anywhere without somebody asking me about it.
Or asking me.
Yeah. But I agree. I don't think
Like-
that's her strong point.
No, and I don't
but
know
yeah.
if there's anything we can do to help.
Yeah.
They need to at least like get the business listed on Google.
Yes, she's-
Yes.
She
Is
was
she already
made,
paying the lease rate?
Oh yeah, she's been
Yeah.
paying the lease rate for several months. I mean, because
Yeah.
she's had to there was a lot of work that needed to be done to
Yeah,
the space to get it to where it looks beautiful. She's done a lot of
it's
work.
gorgeous in there.
Yeah, and the sign up on the highway is
Yeah.
beautiful, and
I
the
think-
one on
But as
when
much-
they open, if people find out about it, it'll be a successful business. But even being here, like we're looking to them to be one of the draws to the farm.
Yeah. Yes.
Food service.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we need the most. And like,
So you're gonna take a shift?
Yeah.
Working there?
I'll just like get her on Google.
Yeah, yeah,
It doesn't take
Well,
that long.
well, definitely, I don't think that she would, mind any help in the advertising
Yeah.
space at all.
I understand like not wanting to like be active on social
Yeah.
media, but like I don't know.
But
Maybe
using
once
it
she's
for-
opening, maybe she can at least like send something to Drew's list. 'Cause
Yes.
they reach a lot of people on the island and
Yeah, she definitely, like, there definitely needs to be something there, but just by word of mouth,
yeah,
there are so many people that know.
yeah.
Just by evident of being asked all the time by every single person, what's going on with
She
that?
may
new show?"
survive despite herself.
Yeah,
I hope so.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the menu looks great.
yeah.
Oh my God. Now I don't have anything from, huh?
What?
Oh.
Don?
I just muted you. I'm like, okay, well, you're just gonna have to find another place, Dean. I'm sorry.
Bring a lunch.
No, we were excited. We were excited to go down there. We're going to leave work a half hour early and go. So, because about 5 of my team members are going too. So,
Oh, great. Well, we'll be doing garden art together then, because I'm gonna be there too.
Okay.
Let us help it out, please.
Yeah, I will definitely let you all know when it's opening. I will post something.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And
well, we'll
we've
bring
been
a
doing
pizza and eat in the courtyard.
Yeah. We've been
Okay.
talking to somebody interested in the Jim Davis house too for a bakery deli or a coffee shop bakery art situation. So we're just taking our time with the conversation because this would be wonderful. I mean, we could be earning a lot of revenue from leasing this house out. It would be something that we would need to do some capital improvements to the house to make it happen. So, we're moving slowly with these people, talking to the people they have a beautiful business plan. If you guys are interested in looking at it, I will share it with you.
Could that be IDD money that does it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
capital.
could. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's early, but
Yeah.
would updating the kitchen be on us or on them?
It would be, I think that's part of the discussion that we need to
Yeah.
have with them. I mean, like, we would be, I think no matter what, we need to do some capital improvements to this house
Oh,
to
yeah.
make it a coffee shop or a bakery or some things. I think that's gonna be a big draw. Like, we need a bistro, we also need a coffee shop. We don't have any of these things.
Mhm.
I've been helping Holly. Holly wants to she serves drip coffee, and I was like, we need espresso.
Mhm.
People are coming off the farm with their dogs. They want to buy coffee. They want to buy baked goods, things like
Oh, yeah.
that.
The demand is already
It's
there.
here.
Yeah.
People want it. And so I'm working with her right now. We're gonna actually vend coffee out of the prep kitchen. So we're gonna put like a bistro, or I don't know what kind of event window in. So you pull up the window, we're gonna put a little platform there. She's getting an espresso machine and she's gonna sell coffee out of that window right there. So people can buy coffee and pie and baked
Oh,
goods out
great.
of that window right there.
That's their business.
Yeah.
Using the prep kitchen.
Yeah, in the prep kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just a real quick way to bring a service to the farm that people want.
Okay.
Right now people can buy drip coffee like they can go in and get, but no, people want it like an Americano, a latte, something like this.
Yeah.
So this will be an answer to that short term, but long term, we need to get a business in here that's similar to the style of like Jupiter or some, a bigger coffee sit down with friends or you could work here for the, like with
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, things like that. So,
Well, the place on the wharf that was something with the
yeah,
tide.
in with the tides.
In with the tides is apparently being successful. I hear people that have been there that think it's wonderful.
It's
And
really
that's
nice stuff.
an opportunity for people who don't do the cooking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it also connects to the rest of the area and community, so that could be something if the current discussions with this coffee shop don't turn out to be what seems to be a good idea. Maybe someone would like to mimic that model.
Yeah, like a take a grab and go situation. Yeah, because the one thing with the cooking, like they want to bake muffins and things like that. Well, in order to bake muffins on a commercial level, you need to have a hood.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not really, and I don't know if that's what these are the conversations that we need to have, right? Like, how much is that going to cost? How much, is that where we want to go with this? At the bare minimum, we need to have some type of coffee house here, and then maybe have a partnership with another bakery on the
Well,
island.
Starbucks
Yeah,
doesn't make the stuff they sell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Starbucks just does coffee and the other stuff is brought in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Starbucks has also offsite kitchens that
Yes.
distribute to a number of.
Yeah.
That in a way sounds more reasonable than trying to bake muffins in this kitchen that would have to be totally expensively
Yeah.
So
changed.
where we at with the caretaker cottage?
So Nichols Brothers, we should probably be hearing from Nichols Brothers
All right, they're gonna
this
talk,
week.
present us.
Yeah, this week or next week, I would say. He said when we talked to him last, he said it was they had about 2 weeks till they found out whatever they were waiting for, whether it was permits to be completed, whatever the case may be. It was going to be 2 weeks. So I would expect to hear something this week.
Okay,
And if we do, then he will, and everything's a go, then he's gonna come and do a presentation and show us how how they move the house and all the things. And we had a nice meeting with him last week or 2 weeks ago, gosh, about the responsibilities that we would have as a port for that type of maneuver. So we're prepared if things go through, which we hope they do.
Yeah.
yeah,
Bringing
Yeah.
up that spot. would
Yeah. It'd be awesome. And it would be fun to see it, it'd be fun to see this
Yeah.
house getting lifted and moved. I think that would be pretty amazing.
be- Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when they moved the house that's now Goosefoot's headquarters.
Yeah.
It was like a big deal. Cause
Yeah.
it was the same, it was one of those old Sears houses.
Yeah.
And they had split it, put it on trucks, and it was
Yeah.
it was a whole deal. It was really fun.
Yeah, one of I think maybe you found it, Marianne, but it was from 2004. One of the community members wrote a little book about Green Bank specifically. And it was like 100 years in Green Bank.
Hmm.
And it had I want to bring we have a couple copies of that little book, but I want to bring it up to the people at the pantry because there's a section in there about
Yes.
the pantry and the post office and where it originally started. And there's also a picture in there of down here, if you go down Juan Road in this little bay here, off North Bluff, there's a bunch of pilings in the water, and that was actually a really long dock where the ferries would come in 3 times a day and bring in stuff, and it was sort of like
Port.
it was a port. So
Back in the
Back
Mosquito fleet.
yeah,
era, I guess.
back in the day. So it was an interesting thing, but it started out the post office and the store was in a hotel, and then it moved to another building, and then it moved up to the road, and it kind of just talks about all the people that were involved in from the beginning all the way to where it's at as of 2004 when that little book was written. So
okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, do we have anything from any commissioner? I think discussion and reports kind of goes together, so if you got anything from any of the meetings you've been attending?
Well, I've been attending all the Commissioner Bacon, Freeland Hall meetings where she's introduced, the candidates that are running for her spot.
No, it isn't her spot.
Commissioner
Listen,
Bacon,
I have already voted, and her spot is not the one that's up for election.
so why was she introducing it
it's
as Commissioner District 3?
Yeah, District 3 is Camino Island.
No, it's not.
It
Is
isn't?
it?
Well, the ballot is for those
If it
people.
was Camino, I don't think it would have
Oh,
been.
maybe it is.
It's Camino Island.
Yeah, because somebody lives over there.
Those people are running for Janet Sinclair.
Janet St. Clair's.
People who will not be on the commission next year. The other two may have said they are not going to run, but that doesn't
But they're
happen
not.
until 2017 or 2018.
Yeah,
2028.
2028, yes. I mean, I don't know why, they can introduce those, but it's not for her spot. It's for Janet Sinclair's spot.
Interesting.
Melody Bacon is elected for next year as well, as long as Jill Johnson.
Well,
Jill Johnson at one point was going to resign, but I haven't heard any more about that.
yeah. Well, regardless, it sounds like for District 3, one of these would be a county commissioner.
I think, all three of those live on Camino, I think.
It's also north of Oak Harbor.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, District Three's is north would be.
Yeah.
But Jill Johnson is Oak Harbor,
Yeah,
and Melanie Bacon is
is here,
Cookville and Southwood.
yep, central and south, yep,
Yeah,
that's right. Anyway, interesting people, and one of them will be impactful to the port because they improve .09 fund grants and,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. And there's somebody you want to partner with. And they were also very distinct personalities. Hmm.
Well, so are some of the existing commissioners,
Yeah,
very distinct.
yeah.
It's been interesting to get to know them at those COG meetings,
Yep,
yeah.
okay. That's it for me.
Anything else?
Well, I got a question. Who's going to Island Transportation Planning,
I
IRTPO?
am, I stay for those meetings.
What the heck are they doing up north here? It looks like they're adding a passing lane. I mean, it was like a major delay to get down here.
oh,
That
is
might
it
be-
just the broadband? It might be the broadband,
No, this was not broadband. This was like, I mean,
really?
but that's WashDOT if it's the highway.
it's north of Donahue Road, because it wasn't Wirefire, it wasn't Whidbey Gig trucks.
If it's the highway though, I don't think the county would have a lot to say about it.
But Battelle had some small
I saw a
panel
couple.
trucks between, they still have big things going on near Brace Road, and as you go south, there was another place where they were doing work on the side of the road, and I saw the sign on the panel truck that said Whidbey Tell.
Right, but it's like two projects, Whidbey Tell's doing one, and this one, it looks like they are widening the road by like 20 or 30 feet for a stretch, like a passing lane, like a passing lane.
I don't know
Haven't been up
anything
there
about
recently.
that.
Huh? Drive up there and check it out, cause it's
Yeah.
like, not big gig or,
No,
Would be.
it's road too. It's-
yeah,
Don't know.
anyway.
Oh, I was going to, if I haven't already said it, I was interested in the fact that the water system we have, the surface water for the pond. We have a certificate for that water, which means we really have the right to use it. And part of that certificate is that we are a family farm. So I decided I needed to know what a family farm was. And guess what? We are, according to the RCWs, because we irrigate less than 6,000 acres.
Oh, so it's not about family. It's
It's about the size.
And then after they go through all the things of what you have to do, which we do as a family farm, then there is another RCW that says this, referring to that entry, that it is not, I forget the word, but it is not, they interpret it loosely is what it comes down to. So even though it says you have to have this, this, and this, the next thing in line says, don't worry about it. So, it gives us, some leeway in thinking how we're going to deal with our Because as a family farm, we do have the right to 5,000 gallons a day of well water, which is a lot,
It's quite a bit.
Yeah,
and we've got that.
Mhm.
As long as our well and pump will produce that, we're good. All this terrible worry and anxiety about how much water we have was caused in 2000.